Shalom, shalom, call halayim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rachakudash and Shani Kabad and Kadawala Requab the Kwanyim Nawa Washalayakim Nawa. That's double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And Shalom, Wabarakyum, Labakaryum, Shayasharala, and that's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel, and as always, to the confusion of faces, and of course, a special peace and blessings to those out there on the highways and byways, on the front lines, offering their bodies as a living sacrifice. So this is just another update concerning the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, or the microchip, it also goes by, and of course, I'm going to get into just slightly World War III, because that is a part of prophecy in the Holy Scriptures, the Holy Bible as well. So without further ado, first, before we get into the articles, this is Revelation 13, verses 16 through 18. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that is the RFID chip, or the microchip. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. As a matter of fact, no, we'll finish. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now keep in mind, verse 17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. All right, so now, check this out. I just got this sent to my email on, Hybrid News Limited. The title of this article is, Can Under-Skin Chip Implant Revolutionize the Payment Industry? Because something is going to happen. An economic collapse, some kind of a false flag. Something is going to happen over here around the entire world, but specifically here in Babylon the Great, which is America. Something is going to happen here in which you will be forced to actually take that microchip. That's what's meant by he causeth, meaning there's some kind of a scenario, a situation, aka a false flag or something, in which it seems like your only hope will actually be to take that microchip, either to eat, to buy, to sell, to get around, to drive, to go to one city to another. Something is going to happen. Now, as we see in this article, they're not going to get fully into it, but the RFID chip, the microchip, is making its way into banks. Banks are liking the RFID chip because it's a way for them to go cashless, and by doing that, then they're saving money. The article says, under-skin chip implants, or more technically, subcutaneous chip implants are here, and banks seem to be loving what the technology can do. Although not yet a trend in the APAC, and the APAC is the Asia Pacific region, it is a technology that seems to be revolutionizing the payments industry in Europe, and may soon come to China, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Australia, among other countries in the APAC. At the 2019 Mobile World Congress, Spanish bank Sabadell showed how subcutaneous chip implants, or microchips, can be used for payments. Sabadell's first volunteer, Edgar Pons, received the implant on stage at the event. All right, let's keep going. It says, this incident at Sabadell's presentation caught the attention of several delegates, all of whom were either impressed or concerned. Nobody, however, disputed the fact that the technology seems like it's already to make a big dent in the payment space. It's already ready. All right. It says subcutaneous chip implants are practical. Now, this is why they're ready. All right. The chips that are being used as implants are the size of a grain of sand and usually coated with a bioagreeable substances to prevent the body from degrading it once under the skin. They're safe. But what's most exciting is that the technology that the chips run on, either radio frequency identification, RFID, or near field communication, NFC, are already being used at vendor portals and point of sale, POS terminals across the world. This is the same technology that allows you to use Apple Pay or Samsung Pay at your favorite shopping malls and retail outlets. As a result, it's incredibly practical meaning natural or easy, and for banks considering its deployment quite cost effective. All right, so when you're able to go to the grocery store, H&M, wherever you shop, groceries, clothes, so on and so forth, and you're able to pay with Apple Pay or with Samsung using your phones, then that's either NFC technology or RFID technology. And you see that being placed because all of everything or everything you see is just being set up just for that chip to one day be made mandatory. So now you have the infrastructure already laid down, and it's going to be easy to create some kind of a false flag, some kind of economic collapse, whatever is going to happen in order to make that microchip mandatory. And then boom, you already have everything set up. So we went from Apple Pay or Samsung Pay to now the same exact technology that's in the actual phone. It's going to be in your hand. And then boom, you pay for whatever you need. And of course, banks like it as well because what? It's cost effective. Banks are a business. All right. Swedes and Germans are already big fans. We already know this. More than 4,000 Swedish nationals opted to get RFID chips. We already know that. Several hundred Germans. Let me just make sure there isn't anything else. It says subcutaneous chip implants are an impressive up-and-coming technology that is expected to make big waves in the fintech space, and banks are counting on it. So boom, it's really the end of that article. Nothing else. Will chip implants catch on in APEC? All right, that's it. Just wanted to make a quick update concerning the RFID chip. All right, this article just came out February 28th, 2019. All right, so it came out today. All right, so very, very, very relevant. And then one more article. It says, what is this, on The Sun? It says, peace out. Will there be a World War III, and who will win? Who would win? Latest World War III news as U.S. and Russia tensions over Syria continue. Now, I actually looked into this article. Will there be a World War III? Of course there will be. And then they give you dates concerning events that happen on a global scale concerning World War III. You have 2019, and then it gets into 2018, and then 2017, and then after that, it gets into the article. All right, so it says who would win, but this doesn't tell us anything. So all I want to really point out about this article is this right here. Who has the strongest military? This just shows you that the entire world is gearing up and preparing for World War III right now, which is talked about in the Bible. All right, let me show you that really quickly. Revelation 11, verse 14, and then we'll read. All right, very quick, short and easy. Revelation 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The second woe is past, that's World War II. And then the third woe cometh quickly. That's World War III. All right, the third woe, and it cometh quickly, and it is coming quickly. All right, these prophecies are not tearing anymore. We can see it everywhere. The chip is here. World War III is getting prepared. The economy is collapsing on a global scale, not just over here in America, but the Eurozone is collapsing too. All right, so let's read that really quickly because it's pretty short. All right, who has the strongest military? Check this out. It says North Korea has around 1.02 million military personnel and 73 submarines, more than Russia and the U.S. The nation also has access to 4,060 tanks, but only has 286 helicopters and 3 warships. By contrast, the U.S. has just 409,000 active military personnel, despite spending $611 billion on defense. However, the U.S., now this is what makes the U.S. so strong. The U.S. also commands 5,437 helicopters, 88 warships, 2,384 tanks, 71 submarines, and 1,442 combat jets. That's what makes the U.S. so daggone strong. But let's keep reading. All right, so we saw North Korea, we saw U.S., Babylon. Now let's read about Russia. It says Putin's modern day military is made up of just 240,000 personnel with a defense expenditure of $69 billion. Russia has 2,700 tanks, 1,090 combat jets, and 854 helicopters with access to 34 warships and 62 submarines. Meanwhile, the Chinese army boasts 1.6 million military personnel with an estimated expenditure of $215 billion. And that's it on that article right there. I just wanted to bring that out just so you can see that all of these, once again, nations are gearing up for war. All right. The big components being Russia, outside of America being Russia, China, and Iran. But you can see right here, the scriptures talk about how all these nations are going to hate the whore, are going to hate America and combine and go against America in World War III. So if we were to take all the military personnel from North Korea, from Russia, and from China and add that up, and then take all of their submarines from North Korea, Russia, and China, and then take all the helicopters and tanks and warships from North Korea, Russia, and China, well then more than likely, they alone could probably beat the U.S. But you're going to have a lot more people, a lot more nations also that are going to come against the United States in World War III. And that's according to the Bible. All right, so who has the strongest military? We got some figures right there. Now, I'm going to end off with this scripture right here in the book of Yahweh Allah, chapter 3, starting at verse 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." Now, plowshares and pruning hooks are instruments of agriculture. So this is a prophecy of what we're reading about, or what we just read about in that article. All these nations are gearing up for war, and they're taking money out of agriculture and farming. And what are they doing? They're placing it in their defense military budget. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And North Korea at one point was weak, but you can see they have more personnel in their military than Russia, China, and the U.S. So they're strong now. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yahweh-Shaphat, that's in the Middle East. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And that's where World War III will take place, in the Middle East. So this is just a quick update about the microchip. You can see banks, they're loving the technology, and they will adopt it very soon. And then World War III, after the microchip is made mandatory, World War III will be all out in effect as well. All right, so with that being said, I pray that this video was edifying to the elect. And I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Machakudash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.